Hello and welcome to Disney Movie Investigation. If this is your first time watching, welcome to the show. Each week we take a look at a movie that is featured on Disney+. On this episode, we continue to look at the movies of Disney Star and the movies of Alien as we take a look at Alien Resurrection. And if you are enjoying these videos, please do hit that subscribe button. That way you'll be notified each time we add a new review. But for now, sit back and enjoy this episode of Disney Movie Investigation. So like I said, today we are covering Alien Resurrection. This movie was released on November 26, 1997, was directed by Jean-Pierre Jeunet, and was written by Joss Weadon. The production company was Brandywine Production, and it was distributed by 20th Century Fox. The budget for this movie was $70 million, with a box office return of $161.4 million. But let's take a look at the development. 20th Century Fox had hired Joss Weadon to write a fourth Alien script, and Whedon's original script had the final act taking place on Earth for a final battle. Weadon had wrote up to 5 different versions of the final act, none of which ended up in the final film. Initially, Fox wanted to center around the clone of Newt from Aliens, the second movie, and Weadon submitted a treatment with this idea. But then Fox changed their mind and wanted the story to be centered around the clone of Ripley, who had died in Alien 3. Weaver agreed to return as a Sigourney Weaver agreed to return as a co-producer credit and a fee of $11 million. She was asked why she returned for a fourth Alien movie, and she humorously added that they backed a dump truck full of money to her house. So obviously at $11 million for this film, that was quite accurate. Both Danny Boyle, Bryan Singer, and Peter Jackson were all approached to direct the film, all of which had declined. And then Jean-Pierre Jeunet was offered based on the success of his film Emile, and because Jeunet did not speak English, they had to hire an interpreter on the set. The filming of the movie occurred in Los Angeles at the Fox studio lot from October 1996 to February of 1997. For the underwater scenes, a special tank was constructed of 36 by 45 meters and 4.5 meters deep, containing 548,000 gallons of water. Cast were trained with professional divers in LA swimming pools. However, Winona Ryder faced a challenge as she had nearly drowned at the age of 12 and had not been in the water since. She ultimately filmed the scene, but she did suffer anxiety on the first day of filming and had to be consoled. So let's take a look at the cast. So we have Sigourney Weaver, who returns as Ripley, Winona Ryder, who plays Annalee Cal, Dominic Peon, who plays Dom Verisis, Ron Perlman, who plays Ron John Here, Gary Dourdan, who plays Gary Christie, Michael Wincott, who plays Frank Elgin, and Dan Haida, who plays General Perez. So let's take a look at the plot. The saga continues 200 years after Ripley sacrificed herself for the sake of humanity, and her erstwhile employers long gone. This time it is the military that resurrects the one-woman killing machine through genetic cloning to extract the alien from within her. But during the process, her DNA is fused with the Queen, and then the aliens escape. Now Ripley must decide where her allegiance lies. So in terms of the legacy, this movie had a making of book entitled Making Alien Resurrection, which was released on November 29th, 1997. Dark Horse Comics returned again to publish a 2-issue comic book adaptation, and a video game for the PlayStation was released in 2000. Joss Weadon had written an Earth-based script for Alien 5, but Weaver was not interested in that version of the movie, and Fox ultimately decided to go in another direction. James Cameron and Ridley Scott both had ideas for Alien 5 before Fox ultimately decided to make the first Alien vs. Predator movie. So would I recommend this movie? I get that the goal of this movie was to reboot the series in kind of a new direction and hopefully have the Winona Ryder character take over. While I can appreciate the attempt, unfortunately it did come off as the same movie as the original with a less interesting story. The Alien special effects keep getting better every time. They were eye-catching and very added to the story. Unfortunately, the story was, again, just kind of generic, and ever since kind of Alien 2's, we're Aliens, or the second Alien movie, we're kind of on this sliding scope of kind of, it gets more and more generic every time. This makes sense in terms of the decision why Fox, instead of doing a fifth Alien movie, decided to kind of go in a different direction and come up with the Alien versus Predator movies. But we'll talk about that in a future video. So overall, like, it's watchable, but I don't think it's definitely one of my favorite Alien movies. I think it's just kind of that I see the attempt, but unfortunately it just didn't come off the way I'm sure they hoped it would. So thank you so much for joining us here on Disney Movie Investigation. Please comment below what you think of Alien Resurrection. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Also, if you could create an Alien 5, what would your story be? As we look for our next video, we're going back into the Disney Vault as we take a look at a Walt Disney classic, as we take a look at Babes in Toyland, starring Annette Funicello. So until next time, I hope you have a magical day, and we will see you real soon.